Do you get a little bit scared when people say eat the rich, or you're like, fuck?
I don't taste very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
maybe a little bit of a pineapple taste, depending on what I
This
eat.
is exactly what a good tasting rich person would say.
On today's part in my take, we got our good friend Mark Cuban back in studio. Great interview with him. Pitch him a couple ideas, talk a little NBA, talk a little business. We have a hypothetical we're going to throw out there. We're going to also maybe talk. We have Jake back. Congrats to Jake for being back. Maybe check in on a little college basketball. Fyre Fest of the week. And just a good Friday show for everyone. We're brought to you by our friends at Chevy. Chevy Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. The most durable, reliable vehicle on the road. You know what's also durable and reliable? Coach Prime. New episodes out now. Silverado is as strong and dependable as the people who drive them. Chevy Silverado, modern and advanced with a ton of grit, a partner in getting things done, especially when it comes to the heart and soul of a pickup truck, the bed. With Silverado, you can get the most functional bed of any competitor. Best in class standard cargo volume, 12 standard tie downs, available industry first power up down tailgate, or the available multi-flex tailgate we've been telling you all about with 6 convenient configurations. All this makes the bed of the Silverado work harder and smarter. Chevy's also sponsoring Coach Prime. Catch it Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. We're going to have Dion on next week, and we'll talk to him about Coach Prime. Very excited for that. Silverado's strong, advanced, dependable, and hardworking. The all-new Chevy Silverado. Check it out right now. Chevy and new Coach Prime on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Chevy. Go check out the new Chevy Silverado and also new episodes of Coach Prime on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Today is Friday, February 25th, and we're going to read the room. We got to read the room.
Read the room. I'm currently reading the room right now. And to be fair, we're recording this at 3:20 in the afternoon.
Do all things with love.
So we don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the day.
Do all things with love. I'm reading the room.
PMT Grit.
There it is.
Is another thing that's up in the room.
To trust the timing of your life. Actually, I don't know why we're even saying this. I don't know if you guys saw Annalyn McCord released a poem at Putin, so I think we're all set.
Yeah, well,
on Twitter.
Well, I think we can say as a podcast that we are officially putting Putin. I'm on my last straw with Putin. I'm just gonna say it. Last straw alert.
Hank is now holding up a sign that says, "Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground." Love it. All right, we're done reading the room. Yeah, Putin. Disavow.
It's here. Last straw.
Disavow. I'm going to go ahead and just disavow. Just going to get that out of the way. Disavow. I do, the Read the Room people came out on Wednesday night when I want to talk a little college basketball, Jake. When I was watching Providence and Xavier three overtime thriller. And it reminded me, we all just need to be a little bit more like Dickie V in our lives. Because I want to tell you, I want to read you a tweet from Dickie V from a few years ago. This is how you effectively read the room, folks.
Okay.
So obviously war happened last night, or it's happening, started. World War III, is that what everyone's saying? It's World War III now?
I think there's some people that secretly want it to be World War
they're like, oh damn, I'm living through history.
Well, because everybody has this opinion that they're so important that whatever's happening is the most important thing that's ever happened in the history of the world.
Correct.
So some people are like, yep, this is exactly like the invasion of Poland in 1939.
Right.
Some amateur historians are saying that, completely lacking context for all the things that are different about what's going on right now.
Do you know what the most shocking part about that tweet from Billy was? If you looked at the quote tweets, there were people who were like, damn, that's so profound. I was like, oh my God, where are we?
All from people who are in their early 20s. And don't get me wrong.
Shit, dude, he is right.
Listen, we are disavowing Putin. It's fucked up what he's doing, for sure. But you can't. There's so many things that are different. One thing that I learned a while back is that not everything that's bad is Hitler. Not everything that's good is Jesus.
That's true.
Something to remember.
That's true. There's also
throw it on a quote board.
Yeah.
Throw it on a T-shirt.
Yeah. There was another quote of Billy's tweet that was like, guy who watches nothing but World War II movies sees war break out and is like, damn, this is giving me some World War II vibes.
No, Billy's like, well, yo, this is This reminds me so much of Verdansk.
Yeah, damn. This is.
I was gonna say.
Me and Billy were actually playing Call of Duty when this was happening, and he, dead serious, was like, "Dude, we're playing Warzone right now, but like in Ukraine, it's actually a war zone.
Whoa,
Like this is really happening there."
As an amateur warologist, I can say I don't know. I listened to a couple podcasts about college basketball, a couple podcasts about war. From what I can tell, like the Ukrainians, I think they're like 65% of them said once there's an invasion, we're going to just take up arms, just like the general population. So it's going to be pretty messy over there for a while. That's my analysis.
Are we doing real war talk?
That's my real war talk.
I was going to say the Dickie V tweet. I don't really know how to go off real war talk. Do you want to put a bow on the real war talk? I don't know.
Let me tie it back to sports.
We said we're going to do real war talk.
Let me tie it back to sports. So this whole thing started, in my opinion, when Putin was appeased and coddled by Robert Kraft, Hank's owner, when he took the Super Bowl ring from him, and Robert Kraft didn't say shit. He was just like, okay. So it's like baby steps. You give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask for a glass of milk.
He was preventing World War III.
No, because Robert Kraft didn't stand up to Putin. Now Putin thinks he can take anything that he wants, and no one's going to say anything.
Well, PFT, let me ask you this: some people are saying that,
and when you have 6, it's like what's losing 1?
Yeah, some people are saying though, if Putin was maybe 6 feet tall, he wouldn't be so fucking aggro all the time.
No,
history is written by a bunch of angry short dudes trying to convince everyone they're not short.
I agree 100%. In fact, I tweeted that out last night. I said this is just another example of like a short person that shouldn't be allowed to hold office, and all of a sudden they're in charge of a big army with cool guns and stuff. And this is what you get. We should, and I'm saying we, like if you're 5'9" or less, you should not be in charge of a country. Okay. I will fully admit, like. My people
taking yourself out of the running.
My people have a deficiency, and that's like we like to try to take over the world.
Try to prove everyone that you're not.
Yeah,
so
no,
short.
we should not be allowed within 50 miles of a nuclear missile.
Yeah. So the Dickie V tweet that I was referencing, that I think everyone should just take a page out of his book. Follow Dickie V. It reminded me of it. It was, I can't remember when this was. Someone could do the dates on the actual things that were happening in the world. But he tweeted, like many, I've been following the news involving the attacks on al-Assad bases in Iraq by Iran. Also, I've been checking Hoop News, and 4 teams should get a tip of the hat. Rutgers, Providence, Maryland, Boston College. They had W's over Penn State, Marquette, Ohio State, and yes, Virginia. That's how you do it, folks. That's how you acknowledge the room and then just hop right into the good stuff.
You blend it. Yeah, you blend it a little bit.
It's like, here, this is happening, and now... how about that win by Rutgers?
This is why Twitter needs different rooms, I think.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the room that's all war talk all the time, there should be a war room. If you want to be in the basketball room, you can be in the basketball room.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, it'll forever baffle me when people are like, well, "How have you not talked about this?" I don't fucking know what's going on. I'm not smart. I read a couple articles, but I do not feel smart enough to talk about.
There are other places that you could go to get legitimate
a lot of other places.
analysis.
Yes. There is one thing that I'm very concerned about, and I just want to say this out loud. In 2020, I had a run where I was 8-0-1 in college basketball, and then COVID broke out and ended all sports. Mm-hmm. I'm currently on a run of 5-0-1.
Yeah.
So if history does repeat itself, like Billy said, 1939, same as today, are we a little worried if I win my next 3 bets?
I think you need to make a game of the world might end tomorrow.
But if I get to 8-0-1, I think that everything's gonna get.
How about you make the last bet you'll ever make bet?
Okay.
Right.
Like what? Yeah. What
like
if
a game of your lifetime?
Oh man.
The last bet
I don't
of all
have
time
that right now.
The end of the world bet.
The end of the world bet. But if you lose the end of the world bet, that's the end of the world.
No, but that just means that it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
So it's like a 50-50. You're gonna win. Heads you win. Tails you still win. Because if it's the end of the world and it actually happens and you win the bet, guess what? You won your last huge bet. That was a great time. We all enjoyed.
Now the end of the world.
And now the end of the world. But if you lose it, it just means that the end of the world's not actually going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I will. I did win my let bygones be bygones bet of the year yesterday, so that felt good. Let's talk a little college hoops.
Who's that, Michigan?
Yeah, Michigan. Jake is back. We haven't seen you in what, a week and a half?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Where have you been?
I had a few weddings down in Florida. Then we had a bench mob trip in Iowa. I'll get to my Fyre Fest later, but There's a big one.
Yeah, how'd it go?
It was a lot of fun. It was cool to be in Big Ten country. Game stunk. It was
Iowa killed Michigan State.
Yeah, it was never a game. Luka Garza got his jersey retired, so that was really cool. Listen to Bench Mob on our details from that. But it's the best time of the year. I mean,
it is. Like
Rothstein says it, like, I'm really not going to sleep much these next 2 months.
Seeing Lenardi on the screen last night, I was like, God damn it, this is it. Like this is when it gets really, really good. That Xavier Providence game.
Insane.
Providence, if you have not followed college basketball this year, Providence is maybe the greatest, and also while admitting that they're also have some luck on their side, they're like a heart attack every single night, and they're also have 3 losses on the season.
Ed Cooley, coach of the year.
Yeah.
Ed Cooley, Mark Adams for Texas Tech, or Tommy Lloyd from Arizona. I think
Phil Martelli.
Tommy Lloyd's done a good job.
Wanna know.
Phil Martelli.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Undefeated.
Bruce Pearl might get it too.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a buyer in Auburn. I think Auburn's got some fatal flaws. You want to get in some round ball talk? I'll talk round ball with you. I think that their scoring threats at the end of a game.
What podcast is this from?
It's not from a podcast.
Oh, okay.
I've been grinding the film. No, I don't trust them at the end of the game. If you're going to your 4th option in an end of the game scenario like that, that means that you don't have any true scoring threats that can, like, you can't run ISO. Who does Auburn go to?
Well, they have
The counterpoint, they might have the best player in the country.
They have the
they
guy
do.
who could be the first pick in the draft.
Yes, but is he an ISO guy?
He could do it all.
Yeah. He's awesome.
What was the other game?
UConn, Villanova.
Oh, yeah.
This block charge.
I'm actually also thinking UConn might be a real team in March. I'm back on
Hurley's ejection was ridiculous.
Yes. Hurley's ejection.
For pumping up the crowd.
Jake,
incredible.
Where do you stand? I'm sure you've covered it on Bench Mob. Go download Bench Mob if you haven't already. But where do you stand on the Juwan Howard Greg Gard saga? I have a feeling that you might be
diplomatic.
You might be a guy who's like, this is ugly. This is an ugly scene for college basketball. We don't need this in the game.
I mean, look. When I listened to you guys the other day, like, it's great for the sport because people are talking about it over anything else. But there's a line crossed, I think. When the head coach is the one strike, we've seen player fights plenty of times, Malice at the Palace and things like that. But the coach is the one, especially at the college level, they're the one who's supposed to be the leader, like guiding these kids, being mentors in their life. Not to say Juwan Howard is not that, but you just can't have that in that spot.
Can't have it. Or were you calling for Juwan Howard to be fired?
No, I think that's way over the top. I think the suspension is probably what I would have expected. It's kind of hindsight. I think if they did through the tournament, that would have been a little excessive as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's crazy. Michigan might make the tournament. That'd be some redemption story.
I think they probably will because I think
if they have a little run. They were my national championship pick in the beginning of the season.
What about?
Ooh, did you have? Oh, you didn't have Wisconsin.
No, I had them out of the bracket.
What did you think of PFT's Auburn analysis? Are you buying Auburn? I also just don't trust. Like, I feel like I guess their tempo isn't as fast as it's always been, but high tempo teams, it feels like if you get in a shootout, anything can happen. You kind of.
I don't know. In the tournament, just having the best player on the floor just makes you more comfortable. With them, they're going to have that most of the time.
So I agree that they will, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me and what I prefer to watch when I'm watching basketball. But if your best player and your best scorer is like a catch and shoot guy, to me you're going to run into trouble later on in the tournament, especially as games close out.
But they have some good guys. Like
they've got
Katie
big
Johnson's
dude.
good.
Walker Kessler's good.
Yeah.
I'm not
guys
saying
who multiple options.
I'm not saying they're going to lose in the first round. I'm just saying I don't know if I buy Auburn going back to the Final Four.
They are top 20 in both defense and offense.
16 offense, 8 defense.
Yeah, so they have the if you want to do the stat nerd thing, they definentely have.
Yeah, and they realistically could be undefeated in Atlantis. They lost that maybe
Arkansas
game of the year.
Ride the must bus, baby.
It was overtime. I'm saying they haven't looked bad. You know?
That's true.
So
what about San Francisco? They're my dark horse right
WCC.
now. Yep.
I mean,
let's hope this would.
They host Gonzaga tonight.
They beat Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
They do play them well.
Yeah, the spread's 10. Gonzaga though, they have not. I don't think they've had a single-digit game since December.
Just they lost to Duke.
No, they lost to Alabama by 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've throttled these teams. So.
Oh, I had one last thing I wanted to ask you about college basketball. As a Syracuse grad, at some point, are you like, hey, Jim Boeheim, maybe let's not just like run
for Jimmy?
Well, they're basically running like AAU basketball with his sons. I
Right.
think Jimmy's
Jimmy's actually been good.
No, but Jimmy and Buddy both are like 35-plus minutes a game.
Yeah, well, the Syracuse teams are always like that. They're always max like a 7-man rotation.
Right, but it's just very funny to have two sons.
they lost their big
They're
man
not
for both
always like
players.
that
Yeah.
because they're both sons of the head coach.
Right.
Yeah, it's wild. There's also some
It is
wild
wild.
circumstances at the Michigan State-Iowa game. First of all, Fran McCaffrey, head coach of Iowa, has 2 sons on the team. And Tom Izzo's son, I think is a walk-on. He came in at the very end. So a lot of wild stuff
Oh, I
going
did
on
see
there.
him come in at the end.
Am I
Yeah.
am I finally being vindicated on my take I've been squatting on for 6 years? Yeah, 6 years since 2016 about Tom Izzo.
You think he's a fraud?
That he's overrated.
Yeah, I mean, Rothstein has the January-February Izzo. He hasn't won since 2000.
Yep, true.
But he has the Final Four in 2015, 2019.
I think it's one of those like sports arguments. It depends on where you frame him. If you're saying he's all-time great, he's definitely overrated. If you're
yeah.
saying he's a really fucking good coach
Right.
with an incredible, like a lot of teams with deep runs, because
Same with Syracuse. Syracuse has not had like a good team since
Right.
before I was there in high school, but they've made 3 Sweet 16 since then.
Right, and the tournament is impossible. A single elimination tournament, you can't be like, oh, they suck because they lost in the second round. But if you want to be considered one of the best coaches, you have to win a second. That's the big thing.
I think
Like
that's
Cal
fair.
needs to win a second.
Right.
He knows he does.
I almost
Yeah.
feel like we should take March away from Izzo. I don't know if Izzo's
Well-
been holding up his end of the deal.
I actually think it's already been taken away from him because haven't they? It feels like the tournament starts a little later than it used to.
I mean, championship's always in April.
April, so yeah, he's good. He doesn't.
He can make the Final Four every year and still be
Yep.
January, February Izzo.
Yeah, right. So he's out before the end of March.
I still like the idea that we finally reached a point where you can kind of disingenuously frame Tom Izzo as being extremely overrated.
Yeah,
It's probably not true yet, but it's a take that I just take a lot of pride in squatting on that eventually will become true. He just needs to coach for another
they're
5
bad right
years.
now too. They've
They're-
lost 6 of 7.
Yeah, I had Notre
They'll-
Dame
they'll
last
still
night.
be-
Notre Dame's good.
Oh no, sorry, I was talking about Michigan State.
Oh, sorry, Syracuse. Yeah. Oh,
But
Michigan State's very bad
too.
right now. Very
They're
bad.
still probably gonna make the tournament, but
Yeah, very
Yeah.
bad.
What about UCLA? Have they not played their best basketball yet?
no, I think a lot of people are just kind of hanging on to last year in terms of the preseason hype.
They haven't had all their guys.
Yeah,
it feels
they've
like
been banged
ever.
up. They have been banged up, and the Pac-12, there's not a lot of opportunities to prove yourself.
Right.
They have 3 tournament teams, and that's it, unless there's a bid stealer. It's
Well,
gonna be-
Oregon has 2 big games coming
Yeah,
up. They play UCLA
they're a bubble
and,
team.
and UCLA. Or
Okay.
UCLA and USC.
okay, so there could be a 4th plus a bid stealer, but there's only 3 locks right now. So like it's kind of like with Gonzaga. If you lose, people will talk about it. If you win, people will just be like, eh.
All right, last question. This is good. College basketball primer. Your Big 12 champion.
Big 12 champion right now is Kansas.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I
Baylor
love
lost.
Texas Tech.
Yep, me too.
Baylor lost a guy by the name of Jonathan Chachua out for the year. That's a big
Great
blow.
pronunciation.
Thank you.
But what about Texas Tech? So
Texas
you didn't
Tech,
even have
yeah.
Texas Tech 2.
No. I would
Baylor
put Texas
2,
Tech.
then Jonathan
No, I was just saying
Oshawacha.
why Baylor was out. I would say Texas Tech is 2 right now.
I like Texas Tech.
Yeah, right now, gun to head. If Kentucky's healthy, they're winning it all. And that's good for you.
25-1.
Yeah, but
that's maybe
their
the
guards
only
haven't
time in
been
my
healthy.
life I've ever timed. Yeah, Ty. My guy Ty.
And Severe Wheeler,
know.
the Georgia guy.
I know.
So, but if they're healthy, I really think they can win it all.
It would be I've
be
never
awesome.
I've never timed a
I think they're second behind Gonzaga right now in the Barstool Sports book.
I'm the king of betting futures like way late and never doing anything correctly, and I got them at 25-1 in December, which was actually higher than their preseason. I think they were 20-1 preseason.
Interesting.
You had
Yeah.
me bet the Wisconsin future at plus 4,000, and somehow now it's plus 6,000.
Yeah, I don't know why, and
don't
they
know how
haven't
that
lost.
happened.
I don't
Yeah.
know what makes those things
People
move.
don't think Wisconsin's very good. I mean, they don't blow anyone out. I still think that they could get to Sweet 16. If they got to Sweet 16, I'm happy.
Kentucky's plus 700, second favorite right now.
Wait, but what were they before the season? That was my point. is I
Oh.
somehow timed it. I've never done that. I've never in my life been able to do that, where it's like, oh, you got the best number possible.
I'll have to find it, but yeah.
Yeah, Kentucky's very, very good. Very, very good. Anything else? College basketball. Anyone else watching ball?
Let's see. No, I'm just looking at my future. I got Duke at plus 750. What are they at now?
I think they're probably 10.
It's worse than that.
It's
worse than that.
it's
It's
plus
kinda worse.
1,200. They're
Plus
seventh
1,200?
favorite right now.
Yeah.
I got
Okay.
them. They're plus 1,400 preseason, so that's not even that much. of
Jake, Chris Beard, trying to make things work in Austin. He got booed in Austin. already.
Yeah, Texas Tech kind
Texas Tech came
of
and
made
beat
that.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, how short is the leash on Chris Beard? Hot seat.
I mean, if they run him out,
Hot
then
seat, Chris
Texas
Beard.
should just stop having a program.
Yeah.
I think if they make it farther than Texas Tech in the tournament, all will be forgotten. Besides that one epic night in
I
Lubbock.
don't think they will.
You don't think they will?
No,
yeah,
I don't think so either.
I love Texas.
They had a guy leave the team, Trey Mitchell. It's tough right now.
I think Chris Beard
Look at
created
you.
a
You're
monster.
like a little Rothstein now. You got all the names.
I think Chris Beard
Fucking
created a
love it.
system.
I mean, it's
and then he left, and now it's like running too perfectly well without him. Now he has to play against that old system for the rest of his career at Texas.
Well, I love whenever a coach leaves a team and it's like, oh no, like all these guys are leaving, and then you bring in a coach. You have a coach that's older. I feel like that's always a winning proposition. Is Mark Adams?
Yeah, Mark Adams.
Yeah, he was on the staff, right?
Yeah, infamous. Like the story goes, some guys got on the plane with Chris Beard to move to Austin.
See, that's
Mark
what I'm
Adams
saying.
did not.
That's what I'm
Stayed
saying.
behind.
Like that's
and he's a football guy too.
That's
He's the
the
guy
type of
that's
thing.
like, you'll have to drag me out of here in a coffin. I'm not leaving Lubbock, Texas.
yeah,
Love it.
Big
Yeah.
Ten winner.
Wisconsin.
You're just saying that now.
He also used to be an
I think
owner
it's
of a
to be
hockey
Illinois.
team. Did you know
It's
that?
to be
Yeah.
Illinois.
I don't know. Purdue, I'm still waiting for them to click because they were the favorite preseason and they have the guys. But yeah, Purdue at the moment. No, not to win, not to win. I'm saying their offense is good enough to make a run
Every
and pull
year.
off an upset. Yeah,
Every
it's the
year.
defense. Yeah,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
If
Murray too.
if Rutgers plays their best game, is there a team that can beat Rutgers at their best?
Well, we'll
At
actually
home,
be there
no.
Saturday. Wisconsin at Rutgers.
It's a loss
Big
for
Cat, you're
Wisconsin.
welcome to come if you would like.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for that one.
TJ asked me, our coworker, who's a Rutgers super fan, if I was nervous for the game. I was like, no, because Wisconsin's
You're expecting
gonna
to lose?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Rutgers at the rack
Right.
is the fucking dream team.
It
They
really
are.
is.
They are
They had
the
4
original
straight
dream
ranked ranked wins.
They
they're like Jackie Aprile.
they beat everyone.
Yeah.
Although
Junior.
Wisconsin has a revenge
Jackie Aprile
factor in this
Jr.,
game.
Yeah.
Wisconsin lost at home last week to Rutgers. So
I'm aware.
no, I'm just saying. I think you're selling yourself short. I think they have a better chance in this game than you think.
Not Rutgers at home.
Not Rutgers at home. Auto bet.
The crazy-
I wouldn't bet it, but
The crazy
auto
thing
bet.
is like Rutgers at home at their best is actually the best team in the country.
It has to
Agreed.
be against. It has to be against a ranked opponent.
Yeah, a good team. It
What
has
if
to be
I
a good
told
team,
you they
yeah.
lost to Lafayette,
Lafayette, yeah.
on Monday, November 22nd? Lafayette is 10-18 right now out of the Patriot League.
I'd say you know your ball.
Yeah.
I'm just looking off.
Say you know your ball.
Jake, do you know? Would you say that you have more knowledge about college basketball than Marty Mush?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, Jake,
What
don't be
about
fake
Rico?
humble.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I worry
he
about
does.
myself.
That's a yes on both of
Yeah,
those.
Jake, don't be fake humble. You have to
I
answer
worry about
truthfully.
myself. Do my own prep. And
Well, I love how
the
Marty-
rest from there.
Marty's recipe is like just betting on massive favorites and then getting so furious and saying that now all the good teams stink
Yeah.
because they didn't cover a spread, which completely turns around his entire analysis of college basketball because now he thinks all the good teams suck just because they didn't cover like 14 and a half.
Right.
Yeah. Or a blank team wins a big game. Blank team is for real.
Yeah.
Well, I subscribe to that theory.
That's
I
fair.
like statement wins.
Yeah.
Statement wins where you can hang your hat on it.
Yeah.
And be like, damn,
Jake,
No.
that's a fucking big win.
Yeah.
what do you think about the ongoing escalations in Russia and Ukraine?
I tweeted about Ed Cooley and I got read the room. So like,
You gotta just
I
ignore the
apologize
read the
to
room.
those people.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've said this before, and I'll say it for the millionth time. Think about for a second what the read the room person is doing. They are so, like, allegedly obsessed and enthralled might not be the right word. Thinking about this big global thing, so much so that they're spending their time on Twitter policing everyone else's tweets.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the read the room people.
And again, it's Twitter.
Yeah,
Like we're not actually part of a
Well,
war. We're not
Annalyn
in a war
McCord
zone. That's true.
did solve all of this. If we could just tweet mean things. I think there was a tweet that was like, everyone tweet what you think about Russia to Russia.
No, that was
from
the
that was from
Ukraine.
the
Oh, that was
Ukraine's
Ukraine?
official
Ukraine.
Oh, I
account.
kind of
did
like
that,
that.
yeah.
They're fucking owning them.
Except
Let's just
Ukraine,
ratio Russia.
by the letter of the law and the Twitter terms of service, Ukraine could get kicked off Twitter for targeted harassment.
would be the
at
ultimate
Russia.
jack move.
It would be the most hilarious 2022 move of all time. Also,
Yeah.
we learned this yesterday. You should not call it the Ukraine. If you truly stand with Ukraine, you call it Ukraine because the word the implies that it's a part of Russia. So every time you use the word the, you cede 2 yards of territory of Ukraine to Vladimir Putin.
Has Florio tweeted out Ukraine not weak gift yet from Seinfeld?
I'm sure.
He's been thinking about it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
All right, let's do our hypothetical. Then we'll do Mark Cuban. We got a fun hypothetical. Before we do that, Sling, Coach Prime is back. You can stream the live premiere of each episode on Sling on Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. If you love watching live sports, but you're tired of the high prices, it's time to take control of your TV experience. It's time you got Sling. Watch exclusive new Barstool content and past episodes of the Yak or the Brandon Walker College Football Show, which I think is just the Brandon Walker Show now. Sling is the place where your favorite sports channels like ESPN, FS1, TNT, and more come together for less. And it's the cheapest way to watch college hoops, the NBA playoffs, the entire Formula One season, and more. Sling is easy to set up, easy to use, and there's no contract. Sign up now and try it absolutely free. Whatever you're into, Sling is where you can find the live sports you love all in one place. Go to sling.com/barstool, sign up now and try it for free. Sling.com/barstool to sign up now and try it for free. Okay, by the way, we'll have we have a couple NBA interviews coming up next week and the week after, so we'll be talking about that. We will get Biz and Wit on, sometime in the next couple of weeks, talk a little hockey. Before we do this hypothetical, are we okay to have Titus on, Jake?
Yeah, absolutely. He's awesome.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, they got into a little bar fight in Los Angeles, right?
That's right.
Who?
You and Titus.
Oh, me and Titus?
Yeah. No, I showed up. To hang out before we did the dozen. I got in there. Jake was already like 3 beers deep, I think. Titus was trying to make him slow down. Actually, fun fact that we learned at this occasion.
This is the funnest fact.
This is a very fun fact. Jake, whenever he orders a beer, he simultaneously gets a water.
Yeah.
Nice. Taffer.
So,
Yeah.
but it's every.
It's not mixing in a water.
But it's every
It's
water
chasing
with
his
beer,
beer
yeah.
with water.
It's every
I mean,
beer
it's
that he
just
gets.
I always have a water bottle with me at all times.
Water bottle. Did you do it the night that you were in that girl's ear explaining something?
Oh, yeah. I had a bottle of Poland Springs in the back pocket.
Body
Coors Light,
Armor.
Oh, yeah, excuse me.
Body armor.
Body Armor.
And a Coors Light.
Yeah, of course.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it. All right.
good times.
Let's do this. So, what's the hypothetical? If you could pick.
Yeah, so it's just some. I got the idea because I saw that the Washington Commanders were targeting Carson Wentz as their quarterback, and I thought about it and I was like, I would rather literally have 11 Mitchell Trubisky's playing every position than Carson Wentz at quarterback. And then I thought, like, that's actually kind of a funny image to think about Mitchell Trubisky playing every single position, but the team would be so much better. Like, what would be the guy that you would choose to be in all 11 positions on your team on offense? And then we could also do one on defense.
Oh, I was thinking it was both. I thought it was you.
Same.
You pick
One
one
guy
player
does
to play
everything?
every position.
We can do that too.
Also, we're taking out Aaron Donald from this because everyone's going to just be like, Aaron Donald, Aaron Donald. Billy's now about to tell you why Aaron Donald's actually not that strong.
No, he can't throw a football,
Oh.
but that limits your offense.
Confirmed?
I just sent you guys a video.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't-
actually, I
true.
saw it. I saw it.
on Corden, he literally
Yeah.
can't throw a football.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And also him running routes downfield. There's
Well-
no passing game.
But, okay, so my question to you, PFT, for this, though, is are our teams going up against each other, or are they going up against a regular team?
Okay,
Because that matters.
Yeah, I think the only way that we'd be able to do this is if they were all playing each other. Like, everybody gets one guy, and then we determine whose team is the best amongst us.
God.
I feel like then we should write down our answer
Okay.
because otherwise your pick might affect my pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we just have to let the audience decide. Write down maybe 2 in case we have similar ones.
I have a bunch. Okay.
I wish that you could go offense and defense because I love the idea of having 11 honey badgers on defense.
So just to clarify,
Just
one
all
person that
One
can
person
play
for
all
everything. Every
11
position.
positions.
Every position.
Just all little guys just
Every
running
position.
at everyone's knees. It'd be funny. And probably pretty good too.
Does it have to be current?
Yes. Played in the NFL, was on a roster this year.
Sounds like you're picking Antonio Brown.
Hank's gonna pick Tom Brady.
I
Did you?
no, but I was thinking about it.
Oh, I did. I guess I'm just a bigger Tom Brady fan than you.
I guess so.
All right, Hank. Go ahead.
DK Metcalf.
Okay.
Big as fuck. fast as fuck. So
Fast
he's like,
as fuck.
because I was gonna pick Tyreek Hill. That was my first thought. But then you got to think about the offensive line. DK is at least bigger, stronger, could hold some of those guys off.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fast as Tyreek Hill.
Almost.
Maybe faster.
Not quite, but that's actually a pretty good pick because you need size. I've seen him kick a ball too. I think he could actually punt if he had to.
Yeah. The Tyreek Hill. I do think you could beat everyone with Tyreek Hill.
But maybe these teams, like maybe Tyreek Hill versus DK Metcalf's, but if it's Tyreek Hill versus defensive lineman,
I still think you could beat him with Tyreek Hill because you can just run around.
True.
That's my pick, Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
So I was going back and forth. I was like, so could I say what else I was going to pick or no?
Yeah.
Everyone pick. Everyone pick. Where's yours? PFT.
Deebo Samuel.
Okay.
Because he can already do it all. Like everything I've seen him do, he's great at. I have no reason to believe that he couldn't do everything else great too.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's Rob Gronkowski, but like a prime Rob Gronkowski.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
That's actually a great pick.
Jake?
So you're saying George
Well, you
Kittle.
can't say prime.
You're saying prime. If you're saying prime Rob Gronkowski,
because my answer would be
George
prime
Kittle.
Cam Newton. Without a doubt, would be. I'll change mine to Cam Newton.
I don't
if we
think
do prime.
you can't do prime.
Because I would mine 100% would be prime Cam Newton without a doubt. I think would dominate everyone.
I would say prime Tim Tebow.
Tebow was actually my second pick. That's
I mean,
why
I
I
think-
said on a roster this year.
But if you go I'm fine with you doing
Yeah.
prime Robert Gronkowski. If you want to do current players who are in their prime, I'm switching mine to prime Cam Newton.
But like
No
the
prime.
thing is, Cam Newton doesn't dive on fumbles. I just don't. He doesn't have.
No,
the
but now
grit.
you're debating Big
That's
Cat's prime.
quarterback
We need
Cam
to figure
Newton.
out whether or not this is prime.
The offensive lineman
Yeah.
Cam Newton might have
Yeah.
dove
Well,
on it.
the-
I'd say
okay.
only current players in their current form.
Okay,
Yes.
well, Gronk's lost a couple steps.
So
then
Kittle.
take Kittle.
I'll take Kittle.
Yeah.
I'll take
Kittle,
Kittle, but
was
that
on
was-
my list.
Kittle
too.
was my number 2 behind Debo.
Kittle was on my list. And Jake?
I'm taking J.J. Watt.
Oh.
Wait.
11
Why would you
J.J.
take
Watts?
T.J. Watt?
Okay, T.J. Watt.
Yeah. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
11
There's
TJ
both been on the
Watts.
show.
Yeah, but
What about
T.J.
Derek?
Watt is
J-
better
J-
than
J-
Yeah,
JJ.
right now, yes.
Take
current
Derek
Now,
Watt.
form,
if
yeah.
we're talking
Take Derek
current
Watt.
form.
Yes, Derek Watt
Derek
first
Watt.
touchdown.
I
I
was
should
going to
take
do
a
OBJ.
JJ.
What?
OBJ.
OBJ?
In
He's
his
current
current
form?
You can throw
Bro.
and kick.
He's
He
got
can't
one
fucking-
leg. He did just have a baby though,
All right,
so he
so
definitely
first half,
recovered.
first pick is
of the Super
OBJ.
Bowl.
OBJ
First
current
half of the
form.
Super Bowl.
That's actually a good pick though, because he can do
throw,
everything.
And there's
And
videos
he's
where
very
he like
fast.
spins it and he can like
Yes.
fucking kick it 50 yards.
Yes,
I wish
very
I picked
fast.
JJ Watt. That was dumb.
But JJ,
TJ Watt.
yeah.
I just
but if I pick JJ,
so I was thinking about it. It's
boy,
like
my fucking boy.
I was thinking about it. You obviously want size and speed, but I do think Tyreek Hill's speed would just beat everyone.
I think he would suck so bad at defense though.
But you wouldn't be able to stop him on offense. He
Well,
would
you just run on. You just run on him in defense.
You just run on him.
Yeah.
He'd be a liability against
5
the run
yards.
for
and
sure.
then you just run on them in offense. It'd be a shootout every game.
I think Debo could 11 Debos could fuck up a team of 11 Tyreek Hills.
The only thing with the Tyreek,
Not on
Physically,
No, Tyreek Hill's
From a
way-
physical
he's faster
man,
than
from a
Debo.
man standpoint,
But
though.
again,
think
you
about from a-
snap it
Yeah, but
man.
think about then DK Metcalf would beat Debo Samuels by that.
Correct. If you went by that same logic.
No, I don't think so.
Well, okay.
I think Debo-
All right,
no.
I guess that's the end of the debate.
But no, that's why I picked Debo. Think about it this way, Hank. Like, can DK cover Debo Samuel?
Can Debo Samuel cover DK Metcalf?
Probably more likely that he could than DK could cover
I don't know.
Debo.
DK's got a significant size advantage.
Yeah,
he can't
go
turn.
sideways.
I mean, okay. Are we debating it in
I'm saying
joke version or
Debo,
a real version? 'Cause
Debo,
he can turn.
Debo is way better going laterally. Than
Agreed.
DK. We can
but-
agree on that.
Yeah, but DK, like, if DK could definitely size-wise,
Yeah, if he
wear
pressed him on
down.
the line.
Right, if we're doing
would
wear
kill
it
him.
down, like, and I'll concede, yeah, you'd run all over Tyreek Hill. I just think you'd snap the ball to Tyreek Hill and he'd run, and then
the thing about Tyreek Hill is that a defense full of Tyreek Hill, you could easily control possession because you just run the ball on him every time
but he could do the same to you. I'm saying,
by running around.
yeah, like if it was Tyreek Hill's versus George Kittle, like he would just run past George Kittle.
But what if you just engage like
It would be a shootout. It'd be last team with the ball.
engage 8?
You just run around and then throw it deep to the other Tyreek Hill.
Here's what the
who's wide open.
Here's what the problem could be with Tyreek Hill is that if Tyreek Hill's blocking for Tyreek Hill, then he's got all these Tyreek Hills running like with him and slightly in front of him, and he just runs into them. He has no true breakaways because he never is able to get past his own all the other Tyreek Hills that are out there in space.
I would basically,
meta.
but my point is I would run Shark Wheel with Tyreek Hill 100 times a game. So it's just all the Tyreek Hills on the line fall down in front of everyone. The quarterback, Tyreek Hill, runs out and then either throws it or keeps running as Tyreek Hill.
I still think defense is a big liability there.
Yeah, of course it is. He gets smoked. The other guys I had on there were Micah Parsons. Jonathan Taylor would be a sneaky good one because he's got speed and size.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fucking monster, like 230 and can run a 4.39.
Derrick Henry wouldn't be a bad option either.
Derrick
Lamar.
Henry.
He can pass.
Lamar would be a good option.
Because he could pass better than all these people.
Darius Leonard.
Imagine your whole team having diarrhea at the same time, though.
Yeah.
I can.
Be a nightmare on the plumbing system.
Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I think out of all of our picks, I think actually Hank probably won. I actually think DK might be the best pick
Thank you.
because the size and the speed. He has the combo that it'd be pretty hard to stop. Like I'm trying to think, like over a course of a game, that size and speed would be pretty impossible.
That run against the Cardinals is one of the more jaw-dropping things
Right.
I've ever seen in sports. That and Odell's catch.
I'll be honest, I didn't fully think it out on defense, which was a mistake. And I think DK would probably be the best defender of everyone besides TJ Watt.
He's like close enough to
And think about
everybody's
the line.
size.
DK on the line versus, like, you're
Right.
talking about covering, but you got Debo Samuels on the line going against DK Metcalf or Tyreek Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's going to be
but
tough.
Debo's a dog.
Kittle would be fine, but
Debo's a dog.
then Kittle's not going to get any separation.
Right.
Wait, what do you mean?
DK Metcalf is faster than George Kittle.
I feel like Kittle gets separation though.
He might, but he's definitely
He's not going to have. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's Kittle, so probably, but
Yeah, but Kittle gets separation from everyone.
true.
But you
Really?
think Kittle can get push on DK Metcalf?
I don't know what that means.
This was either the dumbest thing or the smartest thing we've done. I think I'm
I'd go
leaning
with the
towards
former.
dumb. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards dumb, but I still like doing it.
You know what would be a shitty team would be Kirk Cousins. I think that'd probably be the worst team
Quarterbacks suck.
if it was all Kirk Cousins.
Except Cam Newton. Cam Newton Prime, I do think is the answer. Think about how big and strong and fast he is, and can throw.
Yeah,
Like he would have the one thing.
Sean
that you
Taylor
don't
prime.
have any other. Well, Bo Jackson Prime would be the real answer.
Isn't this just who's the best athlete in the NFL?
Kind of.
No, but it's like it's a little bit different than that.
but
feel like-
kind of is.
Kind of is.
It's a kind of. It kind of is.
I feel like Cam Newton wouldn't block.
It's like who's the best, who has the highest measurables across the board? Who's the strongest, fastest guy across the board is kind of what it is.
The answer is Aaron Donald, probably.
Yeah,
so.
it probably is Aaron Donald. Although I like TJ Watt. TJ Watt's not a bad answer because I don't know how you'd score on a bunch of TJ Watts.
It's like a high school coach thing to be. I wish I had 11 of that guy.
Right.
It's like the quote.
Yeah.
I wish I had 11.
So it's Rex Burkheads.
All right. Well, that was fun. I had fun. Did everyone have fun?
I had fun.
Billy, you didn't have fun?
There was a little left out there.
Oh, yeah? What was
No, I'm
it?
kidding.
Give it to us.
No, it was fun.
It was the Prime thing? The Prime Rob
Yeah,
Gronkowski?
You just really wanted
Prime
to talk
Gronk
about
is a
that.
great
I
answer.
want to talk about Prime Gronk.
He was a beast. Yeah.
Now a hockey team, I'd take Putin's.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes. Yes. Putin's and Ovechkin's because they'd have good team chemistry.
Well, that's my Fyre Fest.
All right. Well, let's get to Mark Cuban.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. You got to add before
Speaking
we
of
get to Mark
communists, here's Cuban. Mark Cuban is brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee. We love Black Rifle Coffee. I had Black Rifle Coffee this morning. They sponsored Billy and my trip and Bubba's trip out to Los Angeles. They fueled it, woke us up every morning with a Black Rifle Coffee, had a Black Rifle Coffee on the road, kept us alert. They are a veteran-owned coffee company serving premium coffee to people who love America. Veteran CEO and founder Evan Haffer spent over 7 years on the ground overseas with U.S. Special Forces and as a CIA contractor. Evan even modified his gun trucks during the invasion of Iraq to grind coffee anywhere. They import their high-quality coffee beans from all over the world. They roast 5 days a week at the facilities in Manchester, Tennessee, and Salt Lake City, Utah. They've got a great team over there. Go to blackriflecoffee.com/take. Use code TAKE today, and you can get the freshest coffee in America shipped to you. Best part is they've got the coffee club. So you pick your roast, you choose how much and when you want it delivered to your door, and then they take care of the rest. It's perfect, so you don't have to worry about ever running out of coffee at your house. You've always got enough because you're a member of the coffee club. To sign up, go to blackriflecoffee.com/take and use code TAKE today. Get the freshest coffee in America shipped to you. Now here's Mark Cuban.
Okay, we now welcome on our very good friend, recurring guest, I think 4th or 5th time on the show. It is Mark Cuban. New episode of Shark Tank. So we're running this tomorrow.
Yep.
So if you're listening to this, new episode of Shark Tank on ABC tonight. Tonight. Friday night, perfect night to sit down in front of the TV, watch a new episode of Shark Tank.
And drink heavily.
And drink heavily.
And buy all my shit. Right?
Yes, and buy what shit do we want to buy right now? You got any new apps or anything that we need to buy?
Actually,
Healthcare? We're going to buy healthcare?
Healthcare, yeah, that's my thing right now.
You're a drug dealer, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
You're a drug dealer.
I'm a drug dealer, and I'm good at it, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we created a company 3.5 years ago called Cost Plus Drugs. And the whole idea was just to fuck up the whole pharmaceutical industry. Because anybody who's ever had a prescription, particularly for generics, man, you just don't know what the price is going to be. So we did a deep dive on the whole pharmaceutical thing and basically created this company, costplusdrugs.com, where we have complete transparency. We go to the manufacturer, buy the drugs, mark them up 15%. You pay $3 to the pharmacy for fill, $5 for shipping, and that's it. And what ends up happening is if you don't have insurance, we saved your life. If you do have insurance, it's cheaper than copays. So right now we've got about 110 different generics at costplusdrugs.com. By the end of the year, we'll have 2,000. So if you have any type of prescription, check it out. You know, if we have your drug, we will save you money.
I love it. So that's a very good thing. Saving people money and I assume time and everything.
Well, the whole thing, like the whole pharmacy industry is just fucked up right now because they have these things called pharmacy benefit managers. And what they do is they go to hospitals and insurance companies and they say, you know what, you pay us and we'll go out and get you best prices on drugs. And then they do that, right? They go to the drug manufacturers and they say, yo, this big insurance company, this big hospital, we control what gets in the door, right? We're the doorman. And so you don't get in unless you spiff the doorman. And so they'll buy these PBMs, will play doorman and go to the drug manufacturers and say, okay, you're going to sell to them for $1 a pill. But for every pill that I sell through or that they sell, you're going to give me 50 cents. Yeah. And what ends up happening then, now all the shit is jacked up, right? So that's why you see all these crazy prices for drugs when the actual manufacturing cost is nothing.
So they're the middleman.
They're the middleman.
How pissed are they?
This is like The Wire, and you're cutting them out.
Exactly right.
Are they
exactly
pissed?
right.
They got to be pissed.
Well, we're still small, right? We've only been shipping for a month now.
Are you Martin Shkreli? Is that what you're doing?
No, we're the
reverse.
You're
reverse.
anti.
Yeah,
right, and that was actually part of the reason I got into this, right? Yeah, because I was like, if he can fuck it up and jack it up 750%, I can cut him by 750%, right? And so we just vertically integrated, right? Is pure Shark Tank. We said, okay, all these guys, it's like going to a club, right? The guy at the door is taking, okay, give me $100 to get in, or you're not getting in. That's exactly the way they work. So we said, we're not going to do any of that stuff. We're not going to take any of the rebates. We're just going to mark it up 15%. That's it. And the drug companies actually love us because the PBMs, the pharmacy benefit managers, make them look bad because they get all these rebates and they distort the pricing and everything. Okay. So bottom line is just if you have any type of prescription, go to costplusdrugs.com, sign up. If we don't have your drug yet or your mom's drug or your grandma's drug or whatever, we will soon.
I like that, though. It sounds like it's
real.
A good thing that you're doing.
Yeah, for real. Because there are people.
You're making enough money to float the company, but it doesn't sound like this is correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not your business that you're trying to get rich off of.
No, I'm already rich, right? I don't need more money, man. This is a chance to change the game, right? So too many people, way too many people all right, do I pay my rent? Do I pay my phone bill? Do I eat? Or do I get the drugs that I need to stay alive? Or do I buy my drugs and instead of taking the whole pill, I cut it in half? Too many. I mean, millions of people are in that position. And I was like, that's too fucked up.
It sounds like a great business idea, everything. Is this now something that you will use for your platform when you run for president?
No, I'm not running for fucking president.
Now.
Ever.
We're in the middle of a...
Yeah, ever.
It's 2 more years.
No.
But yeah.
No.
This would be good.
No, this is better. right? Because I don't have to deal with all the bullshit, right? I can just go and hopefully if this grows, and we're adding thousands of customers a day, 10,000 plus on some days. And so if this keeps on growing, then I can extend it into other areas of healthcare. So if you go to the doctor or you have to go to the hospital, instead of wondering, oh, fuck, how much is this shit going to cost, right? And being terrified it might not be covered under insurance, then, we'll try to find a better way to do it.
Okay. This is awesome.
Costplusdrugs.com, baby.
Yeah, I love it.
I appreciate the fact that you're not running for president because I feel like anybody that wants to be president is an idiot. Or either they're an idiot or they're like a power-hungry goon that
or corrupt in some way.
I would not want to be president. That should be the test. Like the person who wants to be president the least, that guy should actually be.
Look, here's the reality in America today. If you ever had fun in your life, you cannot be president.
Yep.
I would probably disagree
well,
with
I mean,
that.
last guy. Or,
yeah,
if you're smart,
I was going to say.
Yeah, but
Obama did some. He railed some
Yeah,
coke.
but that,
he had a fucking
yeah, but that was
party.
pre-social
Last guy did
media.
a lot
That
of
was
stuff.
pre-social.
George W. Bush.
Yeah.
That was all pre-social
fucking
media.
animal.
I actually think it's the other way. I think it's going to be like our president in 20 years is going to be whoever the most famous TikToker was.
Let me rephrase it. If you don't want to go through all that shit and relive it with your kids,
you will get your whole family, your friends, everyone will go through the ringer.
Right.
Like,
I don't want my kids are 12, 15, and 18.
No, we have our good friend Matt Jones was contemplating running for senator in Kentucky, and he gave us a heads up. He's like, "Look, if I run for senator, like my relationship with you guys will be scrutinized, and like you're probably going to go through it." And we're like, "All right, that's fine."
Yeah, you guys don't care. That's good PR, right?
But it is like
yes.
you have to talk to everyone in your life.
Yeah, my 18-year-old daughter, right? She doesn't want to deal with that shit. It's like any kids with their parents, right? It's like, no, I want to live my fucking life. I don't want to have to relive yours.
Is she going to Indiana?
No, I wouldn't let her.
Oh, because the basketball program. Why haven't you in the NIL? Let's go from here because I'm a Badger. I want Wisconsin to be what
Michael
good.
Finley.
Yeah, retired jersey the other night. I want to be a booster. You have all the money. Why don't you make Indiana great?
Well, it's not about money to get great. You need to get the players, right?
Well, you can
with
use
the NIL
money
stuff,
to get the players.
Yeah, I did stuff for education. I just didn't want to make it about sports.
That's.
I know it's kind of lame in some respects, but
like
if
I were an Indiana grad, I'd be so pissed at you.
No, but people are pissed at me all the time.
Oh yeah, I'd be so mad.
Indiana fans are crazy. I love them. I am one, right? But the thing about Indiana fans is we all think we're basketball coaches, right? So I literally get emails all the time saying, "Can you believe the out of bounds play we ran after this timeout? Fire the motherfucker! You put up $10 million to buy him out because." I was a 6th grade coach for my son or my daughter, and I ran better out about. That's IU fans, right?
Yeah.
It's just there's just no way to make them happy.
It's religion in Indiana
for sure.
Yeah, that's you get the most passionate fans. But I would be pissed. So because I guess you own a team. I feel like a lot of boosters are the class of people who can't own a professional team.
Well, plus I'm limited too in what I can do.
Why?
Right, because as an owner of a team, I can't just go in there and start plugging guys' money because that's going to be a salary cap violation at some level, right?
Yeah.
How does that work though? If it's NIL, I mean, it's basically the Wild West now, where nobody knows any of the rules. I think it's going to be one of these things where we figure out what was against the rules retroactively after they're already broken.
Yep.
But are you just doing that out of like an abundance of caution? You own a professional team.
Yeah.
You don't want to get tangled up in that, or 100%. Is there actually like something preventing you from doing
No, they're
that?
both, right? I don't want to get in the mix of the uncertainty because it's just not worth the grief. And then there are rules that I can't be dealing with, players, right? College players or high school players. I can't even go to high school games without getting permission, And so there's just a whole bunch of rules. But at the same time, I can invest in companies that deal with NIL, and that's what I've done. I just can't target specific players like that would help Indiana.
Right.
What about the other elephant in the room? Because I think you've talked about it a little bit. I haven't heard much from you recently, but the NFL. Because we're about to see an offseason, and either this offseason or next, maybe a combination of the two, where maybe 2 franchises might become available to purchase.
Yeah, no interest whatsoever.
None.
Yeah,
You don't like money?
That's not even about that. I got money, right? It's the emotional investment.
Yeah.
Right? It's people don't understand how bad losing hurts. 82 games, if you're losing 30, 35 games, let's say, it's still a decent season. That's a lot of me being pissed off and driving around Dallas or wherever I am because, it's just the most frustrating thing ever because I can't do anything.
Right.
Right? Whatever we do in the off season. And then once that ball goes up and they play the 48 minutes, there ain't shit that I can do. And so it's painful. Winning is fun, but losing is far more painful.
Yeah, I could see that. I have a complicated question about the NBA I would like to get your thoughts on.
Sure.
In terms of like player empowerment, I know that you know the NBA is healthy if you look at streaming and all these things, but in terms of the average fan, like enjoyment of the NBA, do you think you're in a good spot right now?
I think we're in a great spot.
You do?
Yeah, for sure,
Okay.
100%. Not even close. So you've got to look at it generationally, right? Just like when you were a kid, shit has changed, right? Because like when we were growing up, every household had teams, right? And because you just watched the game on Sunday afternoons or whatever games were on, hockey, basketball, whatever city you were in. And it was kind of like, okay, that's what you did, right? There were 3 channels if you're old enough, then there was cable, and then there weren't a lot of choices. Now, there's just an unlimited number of media choices. And so kids, Gen Z in particular, consumes media completely different. Like my kids, it's TikTok. Boom, 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 boom. But they're watching basketball. My son in particular is watching basketball highlights nonstop.
Right.
Because TikTok just feeds that shit to you completely. So the NBA's problem isn't so much that, you know, our ratings aren't as good as the NFL or this or that. It's how can we TikTok-icize how people consume the equivalent of TV ratings. Right.
Like
And-
how can you measure TikTok views and things like that?
Yeah, we can measure it to a certain extent, but we can't deliver them the same way. Like I can't tell you which company, but I invested in this company, and the whole idea is that we'll be able to take real-time feeds from different games at the same time, run them through AI, and if you're a Luka fan, you're just going to get highlights when Luka has the ball. If he's not in the game, you don't care to watch. But if you're also a Steph Curry fan, so if the Warriors and the Mavs have games at the same time, the AI will just feed you the highlights you like in 30-second bits.
Okay, here's an idea. You just gave me an idea. Maybe we can workshop this. It's like red zone, but it's just whenever Luka has the ball. So in real time, it gets fed to you.
Yeah,
So it's not even just a highlight. It's just like you get an alert on your phone. Luka's touching the ball right now.
It's a
So
TikTok
like James
version.
Harden never stops. It's like JFK's flame.
yeah.
Perpetual stream of him.
Yeah,
entire
I mean,
time.
it's like a
Yeah.
TikTok
Or
version
Duncan
of Red
Robinson, you get it by the time you open it up, he's already shot
already
the ball.
shot.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's a TikTok version of Red Zone.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you like, it uses artificial intelligence to figure out the stuff you like. Like if you're only about dunks, if you're only about 3-pointers, if you're only about blocks, you know, whatever it is, and you know, or if you're just about one player, if you're just about Luka, right, and you're going to see, and Luka's not in the game, you might get a Luka interview, right, as opposed to even the game itself. But if we can package all that and get enough numbers, which I think we can, because that's where the trends are going, then it works.
So I agree with you. Like in terms of a star league, like the stars, some of the young players are so insane, and it's like the level of play is off the charts. The NBA
Incredible.
right now. I do think, and I'll throw these out there because I this isn't like how I feel. I just know that some people do
Sure,
feel
fire
like
away.
this because I love the NBA and I don't watch every single team. I watch the Bulls and I'll watch a Luka or whatever's on
course.
ESPN on a Friday night. But like for instance, the dunk contest. I know it's not a big deal.
It was
but-
lame.
but it does feel like the stars don't care as much about the fans. Like that to me is like, hey, fans are investing in this. Why isn't anyone want to like step up to the plate? Or I know there was the conversation about the locker room access that Adam Silver had.
Right.
And it's like the players don't want reporters in the locker
Right.
room. I think they should be in the locker room because we get stuff on a day-to-day basis from beat reporters, and we make fun of beat reporters sometimes, but it's like they get in tune with a team unlike any other regular fan who watches on TV.
Right.
Like that kind of stuff where it's like the players
No, I get what you're saying, right.
and they don't really
I can't argue
care
with
about
you,
the
right.
fans.
Look-
or obviously the whole rest and like load management stuff.
Right.
But there is some truth behind, like on a Friday night, if you're sitting down and there's the nationally televised game and it's like none of the stars are playing, it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
No, I can't argue with you, right? And I think what's changed is players have control of their platform, just like you guys have control of your platform.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk in here as a reporter and say, okay, let's talk about part of my take. And there's things you're not going to say because you have your platform to communicate those things, right? And so that's the big difference versus even 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Because a 22-year-old kid today, a 20-year-old kid grew up on Instagram. now knows and is part of TikTok or has a YouTube channel, right? And so they already have it. So they want to save some of their shit for themselves. And I think that's part of the issue. Whereas with the NFL, you take a team of 53 players, you're going to know 2 by sight.
Right.
And only 2 of them are going to have more than 10,000 followers or on any of their social media platforms, right? And so guys wanting to control their own brand is part of it. Now, that said, you got to find that balance.
Right.
Right. That's the hard part. And that's what Adam and the owners and all that shit, we'll work on trying to find. Because you're right. The more access we give fans, the better the product's going to be.
Absolutely.
There's also that line, I think as fans, you don't know where it is, but you can kind of sense when it becomes, you realize like, oh, they don't really care as much about this as I do as a fan. And I'm spending all my time worrying about it. Now, I'm not saying this is like every player, but I'm saying that like there is a line that you would get to at some point where the fans are like, if I have more enthusiasm about this, if I care so much more about them than they do about me, why am I spending all my money?
I don't know so much. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I agree with that, but I'm kind of making a little bit of a different point. It's more like the health of the league, not like specific
I'm not worried about the
teams.
health of the league at all.
But in terms of fan, there's a point where, and I think the problem with everything now is that the argument just gets split and pushed to the side. So it's people mocking the load management,
right?
Being like, who cares?
Right.
And people being like, I'll never watch the NBA again because of load management. I think there's a lot of fans like me who are like, on a Friday night, if Luka's not playing because he doesn't want to play, I'm like, what the fuck? This sucks. And
well, we do have rules, right? Where it's like, hey, if you're able to play and it's a TV game, you got to play.
Right.
But then on the flip side, if Luka plays a game that doesn't make as much, or any star, right, and it's not as important a game, and he gets hurt, and then they're like, you dumbass motherfucker, you should have saved him for the playoffs. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Right. But I get your point, right, where you're talking about, look, are the guys as committed to the fans as the fans are committed to the league?
Right.
Right. And I think they are, right, but I think the hard part for the league is to try to find that balance, right? Because we want the stars to be as big as possible. Because the reality is fans are following the stars, the players, more than they're following the teams.
All right. So tough question.
Sure.
Do you think Adam Silver's a little too pro player at times? Because I saw the locker room talk that he did with his address. And I saw the anecdote passed around that when David Stern said that in 2007 they're going to do the locker room access, Scott Skiles, coach of the Bulls, stood up and was like, that's our sacred place. And David Stern was like, oh, geez, what should I think about, $8 billion in our broadcasters or Scott fucking Skiles? Literally said that to him.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the point of.
But that was a different era, too.
Right. So, yeah, that might be the answer. That like
the
build-up is different than it is
now.
So
here's what you guys don't see, right? At halftime, dudes are on social media. So there's that period where a guy walks in at halftime, takes off his jersey, right, puts on a clean jersey so you're not carrying that sweat, heaviness. And the coaches are in their coaches' locker room, and they're revisiting what they want to say and the adjustments they want to make, because you can't do that in real time during the game. So the coaches take the 15 minutes at halftime. The coaches take 3 to 5 minutes. During that 3-5 minutes, guys are like, off comes the jersey. Check my phone, right? So they're communicating. Most of them won't. It's pretty much against player rules, right? The unwritten rules to tweet or do anything during that time. But they're checking just to see how things are going. That connection is that strong.
Yeah.
Right? So the players have such a strong connection to the fans. So if you may be a huge Mavs or Bulls fans or whatever, but if you're connecting to Luka and the team, you're on social media and we're communicating with you continuously. Sometimes where you get that disconnect is where fans, maybe a little bit older are not social media literate, but anybody under the age of 50 for the most part now, they're on their phone while the game is on anyways.
Yeah. No, that's true.
And so players are connecting more often. Like in the David Stern era, there is no player that was connecting personally and, directly with fans as much as you do today.
Right. Yeah, no, and I don't have the answer to this. It's more like I don't see a lot of people actually having an honest conversation about it, because again, it becomes a meme where it's like if you criticize this, you're basically like saying, "Oh, the NBA sucks now. I want the 80s and 90s."
I don't look at it. Yeah, I don't look at it that way at all. No,
I think it's a
legit.
great product right now, minus the end of games, which the reviews are just terrible. You agree with that?
Which reviews?
You actually have created this. because you complained about the refs so much. Now we have to do an instant replay for everything.
No, they changed it. Last 2 minutes, you only get the out of bounds aren't reviewed anymore.
But it still takes forever.
No, it's like got cut by like 9 minutes.
The out of bounds
okay.
stuff was
Yeah.
real
That was
tough.
the worst.
When
Yeah.
they would zoom in on like a
I actually-
fingertip and see if the ball rotated at the last second.
Yeah, I
that
know.
was
But
the
see,
worst.
to me, I was worried about that when we got rid of it because of all the gambling coming into play now.
True.
Right? Because I was worried that we were going to cost somebody a shitload of money because we didn't check the out of bounds play, but I got outvoted.
But listen, I mean, gamblers aren't irrational, so that's not. No one would
No,
complain
look,
about that.
if you said I'm all in on this, right?
No,
Yeah, they're not.
I
They're
would
not
go for
irrational
you
at all.
hard.
Yeah.
No, but what you're saying is you were thinking of the gamblers.
Yes, no,
in
you
this
were.
situation.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
You're
I appreciate that. Now, what about the other owners in the league? How do you feel like you're one of the more popular guys amongst the
Guys,
ownership?
we're not that close.
Really?
No?
No, it's not like
You guys don't hang out?
No, fuck no. There's some of them I'm more friendly with than others, right? But they do their thing, I do my thing. We're competitive. Like I'm friends with them, but it's like rare that I just go, "Hey, what's going on, man? What are you doing?"
What percentage of the owners do you think actually care
Governors,
about
can
their?
we-
Excuse me, governors.
Yeah,
Governors
please.
care about their teams as a fan, as opposed to which ones look at their teams as a business that they
I think
run?
they
Good
all
question.
do at
Thank
some
you.
level because you have to. But some of them put more of an emphasis on business than anything else. And I'm not going to throw any of them under the bus, but yeah, there's definitely ones because I like that. The more guys who are more not just guys anymore, but the more owners, governors, ownership groups that care cash first. That's an opportunity for me, hopefully, to get some players because they're trying to cut their payroll or whatever.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm fine with it.
So you said this earlier, but you said you've got enough money, and now you're talking about like you'd rather win than optimize profit
course.
necessarily
All day,
as a
every day.
governor.
Yeah.
At what point did you say like, "Hey, I've got enough money"? Because I feel like most billionaires, they never reach that point in life where they're like, "Okay, I'm good now."
I mean, like, the day I became a billionaire, it was like, how much fucking money do you need? Like, when we sold to Yahoo for stock, there were a lot of people who were just took that stock and like, let's just hope it keeps on going up. I did this thing called a collar where I protected my downside. I'm like, I got a B next to my name. I mean, oh my fucking God, how did that even happen? Right? It's just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't take it for granted, but don't fuck it up.
Are you saying that just because now it's become popular to say like "eat the rich"?
No, I've been saying that since day one,
Okay.
right?
All right, that was a good test.
I
Yeah,
don't care about
yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
But do you get a little bit scared when people say "eat the rich"? Or you're like, "Fuck"?
I don't taste very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll
Maybe a
be the
little bit of
judge
a
of that.
pineapple
Yeah.
taste,
Yeah.
depending
We'll
on
see.
what I
This
ate.
is exactly what a good tasting rich person would say.
Yeah, like no, don't. I
like one of
haven't
those-
marbled at all.
You're like one of those frogs that is like, "Careful, I'm poisonous,"
Yeah.
but in reality, it's just all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what? I've been poor. And if you would have asked me when I was sleeping on the floor, fucked up with nothing, I mean, my first car in Dallas after my Fiat broke down, literally my first car that I was able to make payments on was a car I saw on the side of the road. And I knew that car had been abandoned because it wasn't fucked up in any way. I went in there, I had my buddy stop the car, went in there, and I found the bank papers that, because it was an abandoned car, called the bank and said, look, I just found this car that someone abandoned. Will you let me take over the payments? That's how fucked up my financial life was. So if you would have told me back then, you're going to be worth more than $1 billion and some people are going to be out there talking about eat the rich, I would have been like, take a finger, right? Take a hand,
Yeah.
right? Whatever.
We'll risk that. When
I'll
it
take
comes
my
to it.
chances. Yeah.
All right, so you were in Cleveland for the All-Star game.
yeah.
I love the ceremony.
Yeah.
The 75,
Yeah.
75th anniversary. What's the one guy? I know you've been around all these guys a lot, but who's the one guy that when you see it still is like, oh, this is awesome? Or maybe best stories,
Dr. J.
Yeah.
Dr. J. Because when I was a little kid growing up in Pittsburgh, I literally snuck into the Civic Arena when they were filming The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, just to see Dr. J. That was my guy. So when I see him, that's like I still get fangirly.
Yeah, and I do. It was really cool to watch everyone because I do think the NBA has like a brotherhood and like a camaraderie through the years, unlike any other league.
Well,
where
'cause
the guys like go at because they go at each other throughout their entire careers.
Yeah, I mean, and plus there's 5 guys on the court at a time.
Right.
Every other sport, at least the teams are bigger, right? So there's a personal connection between all of them. And at any point in time, put aside the two ways, there's only 450 guys.
Right.
Out of all the people who play basketball, every kid who's ever dreamed, there's only 450 guys in the NBA at one time. which is insane. It's just such a small club.
Yeah, I feel like the players have done a good job, and this probably contributes a lot to the player empowerment that we're seeing right now. But players from way back in the day, they teach the next guys, like, here's how they're going to try to get it over on you. Here's how you optimize what you're doing. Because a lot of players in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, they were getting hosed. They weren't making enough money. And so they're kind of looking out for the next generation, which I think has brought us to this place here. So maybe when I'm saying like that, it's not the players caring as much as the fans do. I think there's been definitely like a shift in the pendulum of the players recognizing their value and then optimizing all that.
Just look at social media, right? Of all entertainment, right? Basketball players, our top basketball players have influence like you would not believe. Basketball players, and for better or worse sometimes, but even guys that are 15th on the roster because of 2K, because of social media, they're because of where they went to college, if they went to college, they have a following that's more than the athletes in almost any other sport.
And do you think that they're happier now than they were 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Yeah,
because we see all the negative stuff, and it's been like a running joke on the show, like NBA is the least happy group of millionaires in their 20s on the planet because everyone, a lot of the superstars, are either eating their way out of town or they're complaining about something. They're not showing up for a season like Ben Simmons did. But that might not be the case. It might be you have a better perspective than we do. But from our angle, we see just like a lot of unhappiness amongst the superstars of the game, which is unusual.
Yeah, I mean, Gen Z is different. Just far, far different. Coaching them is different. Dealing with them is different. And I think they're happier because, to be in the NBA, 99% of the guys were stars their entire lives. And so they've been in the spotlight on social media since they were 12, 13, 14 years old. And so they've learned how to relate. They've learned how to come along. And they're also more mental health aware. They're not just like, oh, don't be a pussy. Right, it's like get yourself some help. Right. I'm with you, bro. Let me show you some love. Let's talk about this. Let's connect. Like I saw a highlight. It was Tyrese Maxey and I forget who was talking to, and it was in the one of the events, right? And he was like, "Bro, I'm going to give you a hug." He goes, "I don't need a hug." He goes, "Yeah, you just wait. I'm going to give you a hug." Right, and you never, right?
No,
20 years ago, that kind of conversation, you would have been called out and you would have been, embarrassed somehow. Just the way players connect together. Now, a 40-year-old, 35-year-old player doesn't have that same connection, but they follow each other on social media. That guys who used to play for your team are still liking their former teammates and all their posts. So there's just little things like that where you can send. A like on Instagram is like a hug.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, bro, you posted this, your kid, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, and I'm gonna just give you a like.
Yeah. I got a headline grab. What will the financial impact of drafting Bronny Jr. and getting LeBron for his last season in the NBA be?
I don't even know.
You know.
I really don't. I really don't.
You have no one who's run the numbers?
No one who's run the numbers, right? Because it's impossible to predict how, I don't even know how many years from now, 3, 4, whatever it is years from now.
Nice. You're just pretending to not know anything
No, I don't.
about
How old
this.
is Bronny? Yep.
He's junior in high school.
Okay, so it could be 3 years from now,
correct.
Right?
Oh.
I mean, it wouldn't suck. Let's put it that way. It wouldn't suck.
Yeah, but
I'd rather win.
It's a great move by LeBron because it was like when you actually
add it up. It was super smart by LeBron.
Yeah,
it really was super smart.
Someone's going to probably draft him a little bit higher now because you get LeBron for his farewell season.
Or maybe 2 or 3 or 4.
Or maybe 2 or 3, yeah. Interesting. So future Dallas Maverick. Okay, that makes sense. We have a couple ideas to pitch you, but last basketball question before that. What is success this year for the Mavs?
Competing for a championship, for real.
So that's not. Are you contenders? Are you officially contenders?
I think we are for sure. I mean, it takes time to adjust to a new coach. So we had to go from the Rick Carlisle era to the Jason Kidd era. And you can just see the improvement over the course of the season. I mean, we're 18-6 over our last 24 games, and our defense is top 3 over that period, and our offense is top 10. And if you're a top 10 offense and a top 5 defense, you have a chance to compete for a title. And Luka, I give Luka so much credit. just the adjustments he's made, how he's learned, and how he continues just to get better.
Well, that was one of my first ideas. I know PFT has a couple, but my first idea was you should just install funhouse mirrors in the Mavs practice facility, because it's clear that if you can just get Luka to think that he's overweight, he's going to try a lot harder.
No, that's not it, man.
That is it.
That's
You
not
said
it.
it yourself.
No, that's
You're
not
like, he
what
was
I
a
said.
fat ass. Now
That's
he's
not
skinny
what
and he's
I
awesome.
said.
You said he heard the criticism.
Yeah.
So would you like to thank us for joining into that criticism?
No,
Next,
we
be
called
like,
him
I
fat.
think Luka looks a little chubby.
Luka's a big boy. I'm not. I don't mean that. I mean, in other words, he's matured, right? Like
Right.
any
Yeah,
other
big boy, real big boy.
Yeah,
no,
very
girth-
big
girthy
boy.
boy.
Our large son.
Luka is smart. People don't realize how fucking smart he is, man.
He loves coffee. I know how smart he is.
You know, and so he's figured it out, and it just takes time sometimes. But the guy's figured it out. I love him to death. I give him so much credit. I mean, he takes on every challenge you put in front of him. He's a good dude. He's great to talk to. He's great to be around. He's got all the intangibles, and he's just put it all together, and it shows in how he's playing. I'm proud of the guy. I mean, I'm really proud of Luka because he took a lot of grief, and he just said, you know what? Fuck him. I'm going to get it done, and he has.
There is you can see it in a lot of guys' career arcs where that second, third, fourth year where they realize, and LeBron's kind of given a good path for everyone. My body is a enormous investment that I have to put a lot of money and time into, and it's not
It takes time
just showing up.
Because when you're 18, 19 years old, you never have to think about that.
Right. Right.
But you play 82 games, and you start to feel it. And guys learn over time. Like when I got to the Mavs, Dirk was eating Snickers bars and corn chips all day, every day for dinner, and you just couldn't do that.
Right.
But it took him time to realize it, and he did. And Luka, every superstar goes through the same thing.
Think about the funhouse mirrors, though. You could do it. I mean, it took
Yeah,
you
I'm
a
not
while
buying
to win
that.
a title, did it not? Did it not?
Think about it.
Think about it. That you remember. You're still thinking about. Think about it.
I'm still thinking about
Yes.
about it. Every time I hear someone
man.
say "think about it,"
Yeah,
I think
that's
about
money
think about
in
it.
my. Yeah, that should be money in my pocket.
Yeah,
every
whatever.
time.
All right, before we get out of here, I want to make you some money because I know that you're rich. You don't care if you make any more money, but this will give you the opportunity to lose money on all sorts of other good stuff for mankind.
Done.
Just by investing in these products. You're a
Okay.
busy man. I'll be very brief. First question: do you smoke pot?
No.
Have you ever smoked pot?
Yeah.
Do you agree that pot is getting too good?
I haven't smoked in a long time. So,
Okay,
yeah.
well, let me get you up to speed on what's going on with Gen Z pot, because the weed now is so much more potent than it was
Than it
even
used to be
10,
back in the
15
day,
years
yeah.
ago. I'm not even talking when I was growing up, people were like, oh, your parents' weed was nothing compared to this weed. The weed I was smoking when I was growing up is...
Well, now it's all science, right?
It's all
cultivated
science.
to be a science.
It's
yeah.
too good. And there's a very large market out there of people who are my age, maybe a little bit older, that just want to smoke average weed.
Right.
Just average. Just give me something I can smoke. I can still go out to dinner. I can still
So you
function.
can't go to the dispensary and there's not old school shit?
No.
No.
The old school shit is that they say is old school shit will still I'll take 2 puffs of it. 30 minutes later, I'll need to take a cold shower and lie down in bed with all the lights on. That's
He's not a
that's-
drug guy,
I'm
by
not
the
a drug
way.
guy.
And let me just
He's
say,
not
back
a
in the
drug
day, I probably smoked pot 3-4 times, right?
Oh, wow. Crazy, Mark.
No, because I was one of those dudes that would be insane, right? I mean, I literally remember running head first into an open closet door, right?
There
and
you go.
I was a mess.
Listen, so this is exactly for people like you and me that want just weed that you can chill out on. It's called Bad Weed. Bad is the brand name.
Right. I like it.
Bad Weed. We go after that market that's untapped right now. It's not actually bad, but it's just not super good.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
you don't always need 151 rum.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Sometimes
you-
a
yeah.
spritzer is going to get you just enough of a buzz.
Yeah, and just off the top of my head right now, we could even have a Cuban cigar
Right.
line that of
I like
of
it.
blunts
It's
that we
actually a
could put
good
out.
idea. It's
Yeah.
actually a good idea.
Okay, what's
Mom,
up?
Dad, I don't smoke the really intense shit. I
Right.
smoke the bad
I
weed.
smoke
so
the bad
it's not
shit.
so
Gives me a
bad.
headache.
I
right?
smoke bad
Johnny,
weed.
you're only 14. Fuck
Oh.
that.
Maybe it's I smoke headache and then I go buy Advil from Mark's over-the-counter pill program.
No, we don't do over the counter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's cost.
I was trying to get some synergy.
I know you were.
That's idea number one. That
Yeah,
sounds
but thanks, I thought about it.
that sounds like a winner. I've been taught to quit while I'm ahead, but I'm also an idiot. So I came up with this idea. Hank and I did a little brainstorming over the weekend because we both got back from vacations. We flew back, right? And I don't know if this is the case for you on your private jets, but when I fly, I get bad gas. I get really bloated. No matter what I eat beforehand, no matter what I'm doing, I get
And
very
that's a bad thing?
very very bad thing because it's super uncomfortable. The farts don't smell on the plane, but it's still I can't fart on an airplane because it's bad manners.
Right.
So I just spend the next 3 hours feeling awful until I
Right.
land. Then I land, I'm able to finally fart, feel great. But I came up with this idea. I've got a prototype here. They're called fart pants. So I made a proof of concept. They're jeans, and I Velcroed this eggshell lining, sound deadening lining. So I can put it on, and I'll try to fart for you. And I bet you won't be able to see it.
You gonna fart?
I don't know. I don't know if I have to or not.
Let me just tell you, if you just did like a gag fart insert
Yeah.
for like kids to give, or parents to give to their kids or vice versa, to put in your pants,
Yeah.
that just hooked on like the inside.
Like a fart machine.
No, like a fart dollar, right? Or a fart killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got the eggshell. You can't even tell that I'm wearing it.
It does wonders for your ass, right?
It does. And it's just that these jeans were the only ones I had. It's not that they don't have to be Jinkos, but it helps. So
Wait, you got to do it in the mic, dude.
okay.
Oh, you're gonna
You
squeeze
can't
one
do it
out
on
now,
the
okay.
chair.
Did you hear it?
A little, but he doesn't have his headphones on.
Oh.
It was silenced.
He didn't hear it. It
was
was
silenced.
silenced. There was a little pop. I noticed a little pop.
So you can call them SBD jeans.
SBD jeans. So this is the basic concept. Maybe we can just stick to the bad weed because it seemed like you were much more enthusiastic about that.
Yeah,
idea.
but you know what? Just as a gag gift to do like fart killer inserts for your dad's jeans to get them as a Christmas
Yeah,
gift
yeah.
or birthday gift.
To
You might be
start
able to
there,
sell-
and then people will be like, "Oh, these actually work."
there you go. It would
Yeah.
be like in the gag
Okay, so
section
you're
at
2 for
Spencer's
2.
Gifts.
Yeah.
You're 2 for 2.
Let's
Damn.
go. I'm liking
Beautiful.
it.
And,
Now I'm
wait,
gonna
you
quit
saying
while I'm
no
ahead.
to the Funhouse mirrors?
Yeah, I'm saying no to the Funhouse. Man.
The only one I had was I think they should have an option when you go out to dinner when you're deciding. You know that moment when you want to eat past full,
right?
that you could get an oversized sweatshirt with your order.
The one
as well.
tiny mint moment.
Yeah, right.
Remember that from Monty Python?
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught
Yeah.
you to know the thing.
Yes, the one tiny mint. But yeah, you should just be offered an extra large sweatshirt with the restaurant's name on it,
Right?
because then you get branding,
Not
and
bad.
now you can keep eating. So we all win, and you get
Yeah.
a free sweatshirt.
But you're going to be the one guy, hey, he's got the stuff himself t-shirt on or the stuff himself sweatshirt on.
No, well, maybe, yeah.
But that's almost like a thing of respect.
Yeah, it
you
is.
see, you
Could
see
be,
the
though.
guy with
Could
his
be.
stuff. You're like,
It should actually
this man knows how to eat.
Yeah, just say Clean Plate Club.
Yeah, or
There you go.
gourmand.
Hate it. Yeah, not buying it.
Gourmand is just a
Okay.
sweet way to be like, I love eating food all the time.
Yeah.
I can't
Who
stop.
doesn't, though?
So I think
Who
I
doesn't?
think you're just gonna buy. So
I'll
how
think
much
about
money
it.
are you gonna give us now for all these ideas? Think about it.
I'll think about it.
Okay. All right. Mark Cuban. Watch Shark Tank tonight
Yep.
on ABC. Thank you as always. We appreciate you coming by.
Always.
And always fun to have you on.
Always fun to be on. And again, check out costplusdrugs.com. I'm going to pitch it hard. You'll save money on any generics that we carry.
And also, you can go to the Dallas Mavericks shop right now and buy your Bronny James Jr. jerseys. They're on sale now.
Mark Cuban is brought to you by New Amsterdam Vodka. New Amsterdam Vodka was born from an uncompromising passion for great vodka. This commitment to excellence enabled New Amsterdam to produce vodka of superb taste and unparalleled smoothness. It's a premium 80-proof vodka made from some of the finest quality grains from America's heartland. 5 times distilled for unparalleled smoothness. Filtered 3 times for a clean, crisp finish. New Amsterdam vodka is slightly sweet on the palate, smooth enough to drink on the rocks, mixes well with juice and soda, or you can make a classic New Amsterdam mule. You guys like Moscow mules?
Yeah.
Not anymore. I like Ukrainian mules.
I thought we were doing the art from the artist.
I like Kiev mules. That's what we're drinking this weekend, boys. New Amsterdam vodka is the official vodka of Barstool Sports. We love New Amsterdam vodka. We love it so much. It's my favorite vodka in the world. I've got a bottle at my house right now. It's the only one that I drink. Check it out, New Amsterdam vodka, the official vodka of Barstool Sports.
All right. Let's finish up with Fyre Fest. Hank, Fyre Fest of the week.
I had a brutal flight experience. I want to talk about.
Okay.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
fart?
I did. I sat in the middle, and it was just we sat in the tarmac for like 20 minutes, and then we were landing in New York. We were early, so we had to do a couple loops. It was really, really tough.
That is thoughts and prayers.
But besides that, I have multiple Fyre Fest, if that's all right.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Go off, King.
Lay it on me.
Jake mansplained sports broadcasting to me last night.
Nice.
And dunked on me on the timeline.
Nice.
I feel like it's like
It
around.
wasn't the intention. I was very excited about the call.
Can we get the exchange?
It's around the year anniversary of Best in the Office, Best One Here, and I was having nightmares last night thinking about it.
What was the call? Yeah.
In the Providence game, they hit a deep 3 in triple overtime, kind of a dagger 3. The announcer said from Pawtucket.
Yep.
Because it was deep, and all I tweeted was, all caps, from Pawtucket is an absolute bar. Like it was a great line, great reference. Providence, whatever. Jake replied to me and said, he hit that one from insert nearby city on a deep 3 is a popular call, but it plays, especially in a moment like this.
Jake.
It wasn't okay. I understand why it feels that way, and he has the right to. It was not. I was just very excited when it happened.
Thank you for giving me
It
the
was just
right.
like,
Jake.
yeah. Plus, it's a Newhouse guy, so it always Andrew Callan makes it exciting.
Was it geographically correct?
I think you're actually more the guy to ask.
No, I'm
right?
saying the orientation of the arena and where he shot it.
Oh, it was a deep 3.
No, but where, like, if
Was
he's
he shooting,
facing
like, west to
north,
east?
yeah, if
Yeah.
he's shooting south and Pawtucket is east, that was wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna look at it real quick. Let's see.
I know you're gonna figure this out.
Well, I'm gonna look where the Dunkin' Donuts. Well, shit, I don't know which side he was shooting on.
Right.
It was on the right side of the court, I believe,
The right side of the court.
from the broadcast view. It
All
doesn't
right.
really mean much.
I'm gonna tap out for a second. Just try to do some.
Yeah, but I apologize.
research
Hank.
here. I had no chance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go. All right. What's your other ones?
That was it.
I thought you said a multiple.
Well, the plane,
Oh yeah, the plane.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
How many laps did you have to do?
like 3. Like the estimated time of arrival was like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It was really hard. Traveling is just brutal.
All right, PFT. Wait, can we pause for a sec? I want to really try to figure this out real quick. Give me 2 seconds. All right, map, images. Anyone want to help?
From Pawtucket.
I just don't know where in the overhead
Map.
view, like which side it would be on.
Well, where's Pawtucket?
Pawtucket, where were they playing?
Providence.
Okay, let's
So
figure this out.
Pawtucket's-
Pawtucket. All right, so it's kind of.
it's
Oh well,
north.
no, we could
It's
figure.
north.
Wait, is Pawtucket straight north? Oh no.
Yes.
He no matter what, he didn't get it
Right.
right. Nope, wrong. He got it wrong, straight up. Because if you look at the orientation of the Dunkin' Donuts arena, Pawtucket would be like a corner 3. So he was wrong.
Now, is that the same thing?
Are you disavowing?
Wait, Big Cat, is that the same thing as the Schneider Arena?
I don't know. It's called the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
Well, because
It's the dunk.
It's the Dunk.
it's the Dunk. Because it
the
says that
Dunk.
Providence plays at the Schneider Arena.
No, they play at the
Dunk.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, they have a
Center.
smaller facility too. I don't think
This
they play
was
every game
at the Dunk,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
He had to have said North Providence or East Providence to be correct.
That doesn't hit the same.
Well,
I
I'm
don't know.
just telling you.
Pawtucket's just a cool name.
I'm just
so.
telling you, if you wanted to actually do this correctly, like I would absolutely, if I were a broadcaster, I'd be like, all right, which way are we facing? And which makes sense.
Yeah, that's why Marv started to say from downtown.
right.
Because he would do it when they were oriented in that direction where downtown would actually be where the three-pointer was coming from.
Yes.
That's why he's one of the GOATs.
Yes.
Separate the art from the artist.
All right, PFT, your Fyre Fest.
My Fyre Fest is that people are starting to ask a lot of questions about Alexander Ovechkin.
Why?
My GOAT.
Why did
I don't
he?
know. The media's got a hard-on for him. It's depressing seeing them attack my sweet boy.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did he ever? He never had like a website being like vote for Putin.
Well, the entire relationship with Ovechkin and Putin, it's like us and Josh Allen. Yeah, he built a website for him, but he's responsible for every single thing that he does. Actually, yeah, we do take a lot of credit. We tried to get money from Josh Allen's contract. Yeah, I'm at the point where I don't know. I'm struggling mightily to find a spin zone for this.
I don't. Can I give you a spin zone
Well,
on the spin zone?
What I've got is I don't think I have to have a spin zone.
That's
for him
correct.
because he's Alex Ovechkin, and I'm me.
Correct.
And so
You don't have to say I because I root for this guy. I like also agree with everything he's ever said ever.
well, of course not. Of course, that's not the case.
But you're also not saying Alex Ovechkin. It's kind of like
But low key, Alex Ovechkin has been so open about being a spy for his entire career while he's in DC. He's not even really a spy. He's just been like, I am agent of federal government of Russia. So you can't really bust him for spying on anything because he did that commercial for SportsCenter where he dropped through the roof and pretended to be a Russian spy the whole time being like, I am spy.
It's not the same, but it's similar in the fact when Big Ben retired and we're like, you know how you don't have to say as good of a football player he was, he's even better guy. Like you don't have to say that. You just be like, he was really good at football. Yeah. Alex Ovechkin, really good at hockey.
So I'm going to the game tonight, which is going to be an interesting one because it's the Caps Rangers. The Rangers have Panarin on their team, whose entire family was evacuated from Russia because he took an anti-Putin stance. I think he missed like 10 games. They were like keeping him safe. And then there's Ovi, and added on top of all that is the two teams hate each other, going back to the Tom Wilson thing of last year, and they even went out and got Reeves just to stand up to Wilson. But now there's like a geopolitical rivalry backdrop in it. Just want to say I disavow Putin. Ovi, Billy brought up a good point about Ovi earlier, which was Alexander Ovechkin was raised from a child being an elite athlete in Russia. So he was just like raised by the state, essentially. He had everything given to him, and they support everything.
Wait, you're doing the thing you didn't have to do.
No, I'm just saying he's been.
But you're doing the thing.
He's been indoctrinated.
Right. You don't have to do it.
Ovechkin is a victim in this.
You don't. Nope. See,
Ovechkin is that's what it is.
Then people
Alexander Ovechkin is the victim in all this.
Now you've opened yourself up.
We should all
now
support
people
him.
can respond to you and be like, "You're an asshole."
I'm obviously joking about that last part, but I'm just not going to address it. How about that?
There you go. You did a good job not addressing it.
Thank you. But you have to admit, like you get it.
Yeah. He's good at scoring goals.
He's very
good.
good.
What you were going to say.
He's a great hockey. Probably the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Even better person.
Really good person.
Nope. See, you don't have to do that part. I showed you what not to do.
Okay.
All right. Is that it? Do you have any others?
I mean, that's a pretty big Fyre Fest.
Yeah, I think you're being way too hard on yourself.
Yeah. Well, he was trending on Twitter today, and then everyone was like, please comment.
No. And you say
you know what?
No.
Those people should read the room.
Correct. People being like, please comment for the guy you root for. No, thank you.
Yep.
No, I will pass on
You
that.
should read the room.
Yeah. My Fyre Fest, I have two. One is on Wednesday's show last week. I actually said this, go watch the behind the scenes PMTV, which Bubba's been producing. It's been great on our YouTube channel. Go subscribe. But when we came back from vacation, I explained it to him in the camera, so I'm sure you'll see it there as well. But PFT was like, if I tweet, respond, telling me to get off Twitter. I did not say that. So then every time I tweeted when I was on vacation, people were like, dude, get off Twitter. It was pretty annoying, especially because I'm very clear. I like to watch basketball. I like to tweet about basketball. It was hot some days, so I was sitting watching basketball in the middle of the day. So yeah, that was annoying. Those people need to listen for voices.
Yeah,
who's saying what?
That was me, and I'll say it again. Listen, that's on me. You come to me with all these complaints.
Yeah, my vacation is partially being able to watch sports and fire off a few tweets and not have to like work after. Just be able to fire off a few tweets and go to dinner. That's actually a great vacation for me.
You know what it was for me too? Like, because a couple of times I tweeted out and people would, I tapped in real quick and then people would reply to me and be like, log off, touch grass. It was good practice for me to just ignore all the replies and be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm choosing to overlook all the people telling me to log off respectfully. I'm going to tweet even harder.
Right. And I'll just say it right now, like one of the best parts of vacation was literally I watched the entire Wisconsin-Michigan game, then Juwan Howard had anger management problems, and I went and sat at a pool and tweeted and joked about it with people, and that was very fun. What, am I going to read a book?
Listen, to quote you quoted Dickie V earlier, he's got one great philosophy about Twitter. My personal favorite philosopher is Kevin Durant, and he says, there's no relax, champ. No relax when I'm on Twitter. I'm on 10 until the second I close the app.
That's a fact.
You relax.
That's a fact. And then my other Fyre Fest is my son's school closed because of construction permanently, and I got stuck in a WhatsApp thread with a bunch of parents who like wanted to sue, and I just was like, this is not what I like. Being a parent is awesome of your children. Having to interact with other parents is the worst.
So it seems to me like they should probably plan construction around the summer months.
Well, it wasn't. They're a tenant, so it wasn't up to them.
Got it.
But there were like people being like, "This is essentially a Ponzi scheme that they've closed, and they're not giving us a full refund." And I was like, "It's a fucking preschool that 2 women run. That like I don't like. What are we talking about? We're not going to sue someone." And I was like, I looked around, and I didn't say any of this because I just didn't interact. But it was like one of those moments where it's like, I don't want to be a part of this. Mm-hmm. I want to just parent my kids.
Can I tell you something? I think you should sue. Yeah. I think you should just sue the absolute fuck out of them. Get in all the papers, have big articles written about like.
Someone said we should go to the press.
Yeah,
I was like, no. I was
like,
Jesus Christ.
Go to the press and be like, Dan Katz is filing a lawsuit because his son's school is under construction.
Oh my God! It's the old like the guy who's the guy or the woman who's the head of the condo board. There's one person in every
homeowners associations.
There's one person in every group that has essentially learned a life hack that they can complain about everything and eventually they'll wear everyone else down. And that person's just the worst. Mm-hmm. And they get away with it because no one's going to be like, hey, dude, stop. Like, we just don't want to deal with it.
I don't care enough to really stand up to you right now.
It's the person who, like, sends back their food constantly at a dinner. You know what I mean? Or, like, wants a free thing. It's like, I would rather just eat this steak that's not cooked correctly because I don't really want to complain and look like an asshole.
Yeah.
Call me a pushover, but I feel like I speak for the majority of people in this world.
Yeah, I ran into a situation like that when we were in the Virgin Islands. I took a taxi, and the taxi charged me probably double what they normally charge. Get out, and people were like, "Hey, how much do they charge you?" I said $50, and they're like, it should have been like 25. I was like, "Yeah, you know what?" In the moment, I knew that I was being ripped off.
Right.
But at the same time, I didn't care enough about it to be like, make a stink. The guy got me to a beach.
Right.
I was happy to be at that beach.
Correct.
I didn't know how I was going to get to that beach earlier in the day. Found a guy at a taxi, took me there. I'm happy.
Right. We got 50% of the money back for the rest of the year, and it's like a difference between a couple $1,000s that we're gonna sue again, like 2 women who don't have jobs anymore because the school closed. I was like, I think I'm out.
I also like everybody that gets ripped off thinks it's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. This is literally a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, literally. A school closed down and gave us half a refund.
Yeah.
That's what Ponzi schemes do.
I almost did reply in the inner troll of me, but I decided to hold back that I had seen the teachers driving Lambos to school. But I didn't want to do it because I could read I read the room and I was like, people are going to think I'm serious.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So by the way, did you see that? Did you see that article about like Max Scherzer pulling up to the MLBPA negotiations in like a very nice car?
Yeah.
That was kind of ridiculous.
And then someone quote tweeted it was great with what's the name of the owner of the Mets?
Steve Cohen.
They're like, Steve Cohen bought this shark that's frozen in formaldehyde for $8 million.
Yeah.
It's sitting in his living room. It's sick, though.
He's one of those guys that has the yacht with the emotional support yacht that goes along with it, right?
Yeah, the baby boats that come off. Little tiny baby boats. All right, Billy, your Fyre Fest?
I got to go get the barbell and weights. That is somewhere in New Jersey. It's going to take a long time. So I'm going to have to drive 3 hours to get it back to the office.
Who could have seen this one coming?
I know. Now it's time to pay the piper.
In retrospect, do you think it was a good idea to bring the weights along on the trip?
Yes. In the ice storm, it was huge for balancing out the
truck. What about just buying, you could have bought a pair of dumbbells for like $50.
Dumbbells are expensive.
Since
expensive? The pandemic, like home gyms and stuff.
Yeah, they are. They are. I could only get one of those adjustable dumbbells. So I've just got one in my house.
Also, everyone's trying to send me to Ukraine, but that's a different story. Jake?
Thanks, Billy.
Thank you for your service, Billy.
You should. If you're a man that stands up for what you say you stand up for.
A lot of people out there saying I'm the #1 draft pick. But,
I would go, but unfortunately, regrettably, I'm too old for military service. I would be the first one in line, though.
So, Billy, are you gonna? We would hate to have you leave this podcast, but I think you should for our country.
Yeah, I mean, if
everyone's nodding,
once Uncle Sam starts popping up in the TikTok feed saying like "we need you," then it might be time.
Dude, think about the content.
I know.
You should
think about it. Or maybe
you should do it. You could still zoom in.
could we just send me out
I bet
there?
you Black Rifle will sponsor it.
Yeah.
Just send me out there to do some reporting. Can I go as press?
Yes.
press?
Yes.
Dude,
press.
I don't
for you to
think
go
that's
do
a
that.
good idea because if you went out there as press, you'd probably be like the first person to like ditch the press uniform and join the fight.
Just way to get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, you can. I'm giving you the green light to go to Ukraine.
Sweet.
All right. You won't. Jake.
He traded all right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The front line Ukraine.
Oh yeah. That tweet resurfaced.
They traded all?
Yeah.
Memes
Yeah.
retweeted it.
Yeah.
My 3 a.m. listening to Jocko Willink Saturday
it all.
night tweet.
Traded all.
I love memes being actually the one that resurfaces stuff on all of us.
Yeah.
Just an agent of mass chaos.
Jake.
Yeah. So I mentioned the Iowa trip yesterday. Getting back here, it was a crazy travel day. So I won't go through the nitty gritty, but I'll just give you some stats. It would have been a 15-hour drive from Iowa to New York City. Door to door was 16 hours for us. We boarded 3 planes. We took off once,
Woo!
including a 4-hour drive to Chicago.
Damn.
Yeah, it was really tough, but staying positive. It's the
You're
best time
here.
of year.
You're
Yeah,
back.
a lot to be thankful for. Can't
How'd you
complain.
watch Xavier Providence on the
On my phone?
While you were on the air?
We were on the tarmac,
Okay.
so I had service.
All right, so you get to watch that.
Also,
Yeah.
the Midwest is beautiful this time of year.
Yeah, of
You
course.
got to see part of this great country.
Yeah, but I
Driving, yeah.
didn't want to do the blue check mark tweeting at airlines because every time I see it, I'm like, no one really cares. So like,
I care.
People care. People care.
you care.
I care.
Yeah, I care.
Well, Big Cat just likes to
Yeah.
skull fuck. I actually see things, and as an empath, when I see somebody
We're
that's
all
in pain
empaths.
Right.
or suffering, I look at that and I feel the pain probably more than you
Yeah.
do. It's a curse that I carry.
Even
really,
texting
to
you
be
guys
so
my
kind.
travel details, I'm like, do they really care?
Shout
Like,
out
No,
all-
maybe-
I'm so
all the
kind.
empaths.
I'm so kind that it hurts me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're an empath this weekend, you can take a break.
Only empaths will understand the feeling of being sad for somebody else.
Big ups to my empaths. True ones.
Yeah, true ones. No,
We're not making fun of you, Jake. Don't
no,
worry.
this has
Yeah, I'm
nothing-
kind of lost.
Okay,
Yeah,
I know.
it's
I
okay.
can see that on your face.
But anyways, it was a
Don't
tough
you worry.
travel day, but I'm here and everything's all right.
All right. Well, let's do numbers, and we'll see. What you got, Billy? One last thing.
I got an animal fact.
Oh, okay.
for
All right. I
after.
thought you had something else in your throat.
17.
I got a good sense of like when like Stella's about to bark and when Billy wants to say something.
Oh yeah,
Those are my two things. And
I'm
I'm
locked
like,
in
oh,
because well, it's tricky because sometimes he does the deep breath, but he has nothing to say. He'll just go.
yeah.
And
But
they'll
it's
go-
kind of a lean. And,
Never mind.
Okay. All right.
whatever.
22.
Give me
25.
17.
69.
No, not 17.
I think Hank just took that.
We're due for 69.
Hank did. I'm gonna go 90.
You can join.
6.
I'll get my own number. Thank you, Hank.
I really fucked up with the Tyreek Hill pick. I really hate myself. 42.
42. Jackie
Jackie
Robinson.
Robinson,
There we
yeah.
go. Love
Hell
you guys.
yeah.
Sunflowers are the official flower of the country of Ukraine.
Love you guys. Oh, I saw this
That's
badass
not an
lady.
animal
Yeah, did you
fact.
see the
That is
badass-
not. That's a flower fact.
Well, flowers, I mean, it's flora.
No.
It's biomass.
You're going soft on us?
Doing little flowers.
I think he's standing up for Ukraine, not the Ukraine, by the way. But yeah, that lady today, that was like,
All right, we're
she,
cutting.
straight up to a Russian
Yeah.
soldier's face.
We're done.